Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant and welcome to that episode of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver that nobody's going to watch unless they're interested in finding out where to find Tyrogue. Last time, we went and caught ourselves a Lugia in the bottom of the Whirl Islands. And today we're going to be exploring the part of Mount Mortar that we weren't able to explore before because we have Waterfall now, so I say we might as well go explore for it. Unfortunately, that item up there we can't get until we have another HM. So if we head to the middle section of Mount Mortar here, near the apricorn trees where we spotted Suicune before, we can head in here. And in this particular section, there's a waterfall that we can climb up in the back that we weren't able to before. And since last time, I actually went ahead and taught Crunch Waterfall over Agility, which was in his last spot. At his next level, he's going to learn Slash, which is an okay physical normal move that has a high crit ratio. But I like having Ice Fang and Crunch on him as opposed to Slash, which I probably never use. And I went ahead and did a calculation. I'm pretty sure Waterfall will be doing more damage than Surf, even though it has 15 less base power. It's a physical attack, and his physical attack is high enough above his special attack that Waterfall will be doing more damage. But I will be keeping Surf on him simply because it's more convenient for navigating the overworld. And there's a whole new section back here for us to explore. Now, unlike the last couple of times I've gone into caves blindly, I've been through Mount Mortar before a few times, and I did have a quick look at a map before I headed in here, so I'm pretty sure I know where I'm going. But that ledge up to the north there is going to be how we would get out if we didn't have somebody to dig or an escape rope to help us leave. So, it's good to know how you're supposed to get out, and I didn't realize that there were trainers down here. I'm not Marcus. Are you talking about the dude that we may or may not have talked to the first time we were through Mount Mortar? Because I don't remember. Seadra, do you have any idea how many Seadra we've fought up to this point? What makes you think your Seadra is so much more special? I didn't expect to see a trainer here, let alone a trainer that's level 39, and how does Seadra get Poison Point? Now, it would be really convenient to keep HCB poisoned because he has Guts, and Guts will be raising his physical attack stat because he has a status infliction. But I don't anticipate getting into any other fights except for the one that we're gunning for. And I'd just be taking damage on the overworld, so I'll go heal him up with a Pecha Berry. And Mom called to give us more items and stuff. She's been sending us some really good stuff that I haven't necessarily been getting on camera, but I have been at least splicing into the beginning or an end of an episode, so you guys know what we've been getting. We've been getting some pretty awesome stuff. We've gotten a Focus Sash, we've gotten a Choice Scarf, Muscle Band, really good stuff. And is there an item to my right, or... I don't want to go over here if I don't have to, because I see there's an item up north here. Yeah, I didn't need the dowsing machine to spot that one, it was pretty obvious. And there's one nearby also. A Max Potion. Haven't used any of these yet. And I guess we do have to go over to the right anyway. But like I said, this is just a little bit of cleanup before we finally head east from New Barktown. And I don't think there's anything else for us to do that we couldn't do before, now that we have Waterfall. There is one area we can explore that we weren't able to access before, off of the route that leads up to the Safari Zone, but there's nothing for us to do there right now, at least nothing that's relevant to anything. I mean, we could go there and take a look around, but there's not anything for us to do there. And there's an item over here? Yeah, it's kind of a weird place to put an item, but okay. Free item's a free item. I don't even know if I have to be on land to pick up those items. I know in 5th Gen you can pick up hidden items while you're surfing. I'm not sure if you can here, but if a situation ever comes up where I might be able to pick up something, did I miss? No, I didn't. This is the way we're supposed to go. An HP op? Who could use that? Let's see. I kinda wanted to give it to Krakow, because he's got the lowest HP, but Klaus doesn't have very much HP either. I guess I'll give it to Klaus. Can't hurt. So let's see, we can't go around that way. Make sure not to jump down, otherwise you'd only be shooting yourself in the foot. Because you'd have to wrap around all over again. But yeah, some of these caves can be really maze-like, and if you don't know where you're going... I mean, this cave isn't so bad because you just know you don't want to jump down and, you know, counter your progress. Unless you're going for an item over here, and I forget what this is. Aerial Ace is a TM. It's too bad that I already have HCB who learns it via level up. I wonder who could use it. I don't intend to teach it to anybody else. 60 base power never misses. It's nice to have an HCB. Crunch can learn it. I like having Ice Fang and Crunch on him in addition to Waterfall, so he doesn't necessarily need flying type coverage. I don't know what kind of advantage it would give him. I suppose over grass types, but that's why he has Ice Fang. Maybe bug types, but bug types are probably not strong enough to deal with him anyway, so I don't see the point. And I think that would just wrap around again. So let's head over to the east here. We're getting close to that section. It's so nice to explore a cave that we don't need flash to light up also. I know it's probably been a pain in the neck to watch those if you can't necessarily see what I'm doing, but I'm just lazy, and you know it. I'm sorry. I imagine most people would skip ahead of those sections anyway, because they're just as boring to watch, even if you can see where you're going. And I figure you guys know what is and isn't a good use of your time, so if something's boring, you can skip it. I'm going to have to do it anyway, so there isn't really necessarily a reason for me to... Do I have to jump down the right side, or can I get it from this side? I have to go around the other side. At least I think so. I don't know why they would make you go around that way. As long as we can get to the door on the left, which is ultimately where we're going. And a Dragon Scale that powers up Dragon-type moves, I'm pretty sure. Why do they have two items that do that in this game? Actually, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Thank you, Post-Production Giant! And I think that does it for... No, it doesn't. Are there any other hidden items around here? There's one up by that rock. I am so glad I have the dowsing machine. And I'm also very happy that in the 5th gen they upgraded it to one that you don't have to keep depressed in order to activate. It'll just point you in the direction. Although this one tells you exactly where the item is, the other one's more realistic. And another maze-like section for us to go through, but... if you remember, we've actually been through this particular section before. In fact, this is the room that we climbed up to... I forget if it's the 2nd floor or the 3rd floor? But it's the one we walked around and... Actually, I don't remember anything about that particular episode, because I probably skipped it in my mind also. Is there anything down here? I'm not sure if that's progress or this is progress. I want to say where we were going before is progress. I was completely wrong. Let's go back and waste everybody's time to see what that item is, because everybody is so interested in it, and there's nothing here. Hooray. I wasted everybody's time without taking a breath. I'm starting to feel my lungs empty. I need to breathe in. Breathe in, damn it! Iron. Who have I been neglecting? Iron raises base defense. I've been giving a lot of those to Krakow. Might as well build them up to be a physical wall. I don't see anybody else being able to take physical hits that well. I don't know, sometimes I like to balance stats, other times I just like to build up somebody for a particular reason. And even Krakow isn't going to be the best physical wall, because some of the most powerful moves are ground type, and at least until he gets Magnet Rise, he's gonna get pretty hard by ground type moves, whether or not they are I want to say that there's an item over here. Haha, I was right, an iron ball. Now this is a really interesting item. If you're holding it, it makes flying types and, say, anybody that has the ability to levitate, it holds them to the ground, so they're no longer incapable of being hit by ground-type moves, but it also severely cuts their speed. I haven't necessarily seen too many people use that as well as they could. I do not want to jump down there, because that leads us to a section we've already explored, despite the fact that I think there's a hidden item down there. That's kind of funny, but I'm not taking the chance, because we're so close to the guy we're gunning for that I'm not going to go all the way back around just to pick it up. But another max revive. How many of those do we have by now? That's a lot of max revives. But down this ladder is the guy that we're here for, and in that obvious rock is another max revive. They are just handing these things out like candy. But there's the dude I wanted to talk to. And as soon as I put up another rappel to make sure we don't run into anybody on the way to talk to him, because he's right there, and knowing my luck, I'd run into somebody before I talk to him. The Karate King, who trains alone in the back of Mount Mortar. And of course he's going to make us fight him, because what else would we do in this game? But he has two Pokemon we haven't seen since Chuck's Gym, Hitmonlee being one of them, level 34. I'm not entirely sure if an Aerial Ace is going to take it down, since it's not boosted by Sharp Beak this time. You're kidding me, right? And Mind Reader, which I do not know what does. I'd like to say it ensures that your next move hits with 100% accuracy, but in all honesty, I can count on one hand how many times I've seen that move used, so I don't honestly know what it does. But Hitmonchan is his other Pokemon, and I see no reason not to send in Klaus, even though he's holding the experience share. Which I suppose is a reason, and shut up. And it's very fitting that he has Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, because the Pokemon that he's going to give us can actually evolve into either one. Yeah, that's right, he's actually giving us a Pokemon. I totally didn't tell you that in the first 15 seconds of the video. Pretend to be surprised. But yes, that's why I have an open slot in my party, similar to how we got Dratini in the Dragon's Den. For finding him and defeating him, he'll admit defeat and give us the rare fighting-type Tyrogue. Now, the interesting thing about Tyrogue is that it can actually evolve into one of 3 different Pokemon. But what it evolves into depends on what its stats are. If its attack stat is higher than its defense stat, it'll evolve into Hitmonlee. If its defense stat is higher than its attack stat, it'll evolve into Hitmonchan. And if its attack and defense stats are the same, it'll evolve into a new Pokemon for the 2nd generation, Hitmontop. It's also got a cool ability too, Steadfast. But we have what we came here for. I'll just run down the stairs over to the left to make sure that there aren't any items that we missed. And this will actually take us to a strength boulder that we could move to get down to that piece of land that I pointed out before would have been the way we would normally get out. But since HCB has Dig, there's no reason for us to go there anyway. We'll probably be back to Mount Mortar one more time once we get the last HM, because there are a couple of things that we can get. But until then, we have a whole new section of the world to explore. On our way to the Pokemon League, east of our hometown of Newbark. So we'll be heading there next time. This is UniversalGiant, and HC Beetle is holding something. See you then.